This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the incredible Third Time's the Charm roulette system by Dr. Roulette. He says this is unbelievable, and man, I can't wait to test this today. And we're going to test it against one of the all-time greats, against moving corners today, and I can't wait to share that one with you again as well. And let's see which one of these great roulette systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. We'll get started with moving corners by Kentucky White first, and let's place those bets. So we're going to start with 2 corners, anywhere you want to put them, because we're going to move them around, and we have a $10 bet, $5 on 2 corners to start, and here we go. That's a 36 red. Okay, we lost that one, so let's go ahead and add another corner in. Now we have 3 corner bets of 4 each, so 12 total numbers, and we'll spin again here. Okay, that's a 14 red. Okay, that's a nice $30 win. So we're up $20 already. Let's put the next corners in a different spot. And let's go ahead and spin. We start with 2. That's 8 total numbers. And if you get a win on one of those, it really pays. That's an 11 black, and we lost that one. So let's add another corner in. And you can add these wherever you want as long as they're moving around. So let's go ahead and see what we get here with 12 numbers covered. And that's a 7 red. Okay, once we get to 4 corners, we need to double the bet. So let's do that after we add the 4th corner. Now we're going to go to a $40 total bet, which means now there's $10 on all 4 of those corners. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 5 red. Okay, we lost that one. So when you add a 5th corner in, you have to add it in at 10 instead of 5 because the rest of them are already at 10. And then you go ahead and you double that bet. Now we have a $100 total bet, and that means we have 20 on each of those 5 corners. So let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. The great thing about Kentucky White systems is the more that you lose, the better chance you have of winning the next bet. But we started out with a loss there on 5, which that happens sometimes. And what you need to decide with moving corners is, do you want to go to a 6th corner, or do you just want to double from here? Let's go ahead and first try it with just doubling with 5 corners, and then let's spin. And then I'll share with you how to go to 6, and then go backwards on the next few. So that's a nice win there of $160, and we're going to go ahead and reset now. So let's pick 2 corners and spin, and make sure you stick around for that. I'll share with you what the advantages and disadvantages are of adding more numbers after the original 5 corners, and we'll talk through it. So let's go to the 3rd one now. 3rd corner added, that is. And remember, we don't double the bets until we get to 4. So here we go. That's an 8 black. And that's a nice win. We're currently up $35. Let's add 2 in. And actually, let's go bottom right, top left. As long as you're moving them around, you're fine. Also wanted to include that Kentucky White mixes it up a lot, and sometimes he adds these in as splits as well, especially after the 5 corners. So we can talk about that also as we go through. Let's add a 3rd one in here and spin. And if you do add split bets with this system, you basically just put half of what you would put on a corner on each of those splits. So it's the same thing. It's just it gives you more ability to move things around, and we're at $55. Let's start with 2 on the top right this time with Kentucky White's moving corners. Here we go. That's a 2 black, and that's definitely a loss, so we'll add in our 3rd corner, and let's add it in right here. Okay, so we can move them wherever we want as long as we're sticking to the basics of it, and that's a 29 black. All right, that's a nice win there. We're up 75. So let's keep those bets moving, and here we go. We can put them wherever we want. We just have to keep moving them around. And that's a 32 red. And we lost that one. Let's add a 3rd one in. Remember, you don't add anything to the bets. You just add one more bet until you get to 4. And then that's a 16 red. We lost that one, so we will add a 4th one in. And then double once you get to 4 corners, you have all of a sudden now you have 16 numbers and you double the bet. That's a 13 black. We lost that one, so it's time to go to 5. And remember, when we add the 5th one in, we add it in at $10 because the rest are already at 10, and then we double the bet. So let's see if we can get a win here at 5. That's a 3 red. And we did not. So this time, instead of doubling at 5, let's add a 6th corner so you can see what that looks like. Now, you need to remember, though, that if you look here, those are at 20. So we're going to add this next corner in at 20 because the rest are already at 20. So then we're going to go ahead and double the bet to 240. And this gives us much more coverage. So now we have 24 numbers covered. So that's why this would be a better way to cover that many numbers. Now that's a $120 win there. We're up 30, but what you got to do with this is you either have to get 2 wins or you can go back to 5 again. Let's go ahead and try to get 2 wins with 6 corners. So there's a couple different options when it comes to the recovery here, and I'm going to go over all of them, and that's a 17 black. And that's one of the good options, is trying to get 2 wins with 24 numbers, and now we're up $150, so that's awesome. And now we'll reset. So that actually picks up even more profit, and doing it that way. So let's go ahead and we'll go switch back to $5 chips here, and let's add 2 in, and then start over. Here we go. So we went the first time we doubled after we got to 5 corners, and that worked pretty well. But then this time we went to 6 corners instead of staying at 5. But then you need to get 2 wins. So or you can drop back and go back to 5, which I'll show you on the next one that we get there. So we lost that one there. So let's add a 3rd one in and spin. And again, Kentucky White likes to mix it up and not just add corners, but start adding splits in and things like that as well. And he's constantly switching around to different ways of covering the numbers. But these are the basics of it, though. So let's go ahead and now we'll add 4 and double. And here we go. And in the comments afterwards, let me know, which recovery system do you like the best? Do you like sticking with 5 corners and doubling, or do you like 6? And then I'll show you the next way of doing it next time we get there. So we're up 175 now, and that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and add 2 corners in and get started here again with moving corners from Kentucky White. So that's an 18 red. Okay, and that's a loss. Let's add a 3rd one in and then spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 4 black. Okay, that's a loss. So we'll add a 4th one in. Let's add it in here on the end. And then double. We can put them wherever we want. And let's see what we get here. Okay, that's an 11 black. Okay, we got a nice win there, though. We're up $200 now. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and start with these 2 right here. And spin. And if you do get some wins with 8 numbers, it really pays nicely. That's a 32 red. And I know a lot of people will say, well, why do you start with just 8 numbers? Because the odds of you hitting those is extremely small. Well, that's true, but the good thing is that we're still not being set back by losing that initial bet. And if you think about it, it's only $10. So let's go ahead and add a 4th one in. And then when you do hit a couple of those, sometimes you hit those back to back. It's hard to believe, but sometimes you'll hit those 8 numbers back to back, and it really gives you a lot more profit. That's a 19 red. Okay, we lost that one. And again, when we add the 5th one in, we'll add that in at $10 because the rest are already at 10 before we double. And then if we go to the next level, we would add it in at 20. So that's a 2 black. And that's a loss. So this time let's go to 6 again. Remember, you need to add this in at 20 before you double. And let's go ahead and put that in with $10 chips just so it looks the same there. Okay, so there we go. And then double to 240. and then spend. So the first time we just stuck with 5 corners. This time, the second time we went to 6 and tried to get 2 wins. Okay, and this time, if you do lose with 6, you do have to double the bet though. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, so we're going to go to 480, but we do have a really good chance of hitting this one. And let's get it. Here we go. Ooh, a 00. That's not good. That was really unfortunate. So right now we have, looks like about $1,300 left in the bankroll. So we can double again, but we really need to win this one now. And I hate having to make bets this large, but let's see what we get here. That's a 10 black. And we lost again. My goodness. Okay, so that pretty much is, we only have, what, about $300 left. From here out, we can't do that. We're going to have to go back to where we started and just try to get some of that back, because we're playing with a bankroll that's $2,000. We can't go over that. Otherwise, you wouldn't really learn anything by watching a strategy. There's a nice win there, but let's just see how much we can win going back to the beginning, because we don't have the bankroll to place those large bets anymore. And that's something we should talk about also, is that when you're playing a system, even if it's a really good system like this one is, and you lose, do you just bet it all on on a couple numbers and try to get one last win? That's probably not the smartest thing to do. The smartest thing to do would be to start back over and start plugging away at getting that back, not trying to get it all back in one spin. So let's go ahead and we'll add a third one in here. But you never, it's never fun to lose your bankroll. But even good systems, if you get a bunch of zeros or a bunch of bad spins, can happen. But the idea would be to try to win more collectively than what you would lose when you lose your entire bankroll. So hopefully it doesn't happen very often if you're playing with small unit sizes and a large bankroll, but it can. So that's a 2 black, and that's a win. Okay, so we're just trying to chip away at this a little bit now, because again, it wouldn't really do us any good to try to get it all back in one spin, and we don't have enough in the bankroll to do that anyway. So let's just go back through the process here and spin. We haven't lost all of our bankroll, so here we go. And that's a 00. And we'll go to 4 now, and then we'll, I'm sorry, that goes in at 5 and then doubles. Okay, now we're at 40. Boy, we're sure getting a lot of zeros today. Okay, so we'll add a 5th one in at 10. Remember, because the rest are already at 10, then we double and spin. All right. That's a 12 red. Okay, that's a nice win. We're going to go back and pick 2 random corners again and restart. Tried to hit the 00 again, but that is a loss there. Let's add one more in and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 14 red. Okay, we lost that one. Let's go ahead and add a 4th one in and double. We're just going through the process so you can see more how this works. And it is a good system, and it's a lot of people have used this really effectively. We just had a bunch of bad numbers in a row there, and that happens sometimes. So let's go ahead and add a 5th one in at $10 here, and then double and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 34 red. That's a nice win, and we're still, we only have about almost $500 left in the bankroll, but at least we're chipping away at that by getting some wins here instead of risking it all on one spin. Because remember, you always have to keep your bankroll that you started with in mind when you're practicing as well. It doesn't do any good. I see it all the time. People practice and then they just keep doubling until they win. But you actually have to be, when you're practicing on a simulator, you have to be in mind of what your actual bankroll is. And let's go ahead and pick 2 more here. And you can't go over that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be good practice. It would just be, trying to increase how much it says you have on your simulator. Hey, that's a nice one there. We're at least have a little more than $500 left. And the reason I was saying that before is you'd much rather leave with $500 than $0. So that's why I'm chipping away at this, just to show you that, betting it all on one spin when you're almost out of bankroll isn't the way to go, because you could play for a little while longer here and chip away, and still you might be down a decent amount for the day. But again, I would much rather leave with $500 than $0. So keep that in mind. And then I think we've had at least, is that 5 zeros we've had so far? I think it is. So let's go ahead and add a 5th one here. Remember, we add that in at 10, then double. And here we go. And that's a 31 black. And that's a loss. So we'll add, this one, let's just double with the 5. Let's stick with the 5 corners and spin. That's a 9 red. Okay, there you go. And again, you can either do that or you can go to 6 corners. But then if you win, you probably need to get dial back your bet and get another win, or try to get 2 wins with 6. But let's go ahead and see what we get here. That's an 11 black, and we had all those losses earlier with 6 of them. And actually, I just realized the 15 minutes is up, so we did lose $1,495. This system usually wins. But at least we have 500 left in the bankroll to take with us. That was the point of continuing to play there, just to show you it's not worth, just putting it all on one. A lot of times people do that. They, if they've almost lost their bankroll, they just put everything they have left on one bet, and then they lose, and then they walk out. You'd much rather rock out with $500 bills than 0 $100 bills. So keep that in mind. And Kentucky White, I would love to hear more from you in the comments. And I know you mix it up a lot more than I do. Let them know, what I could have done better with your system, and everybody else, chime in and let me know what you guys think would make that system even better, and that would be fantastic. So now it is time for the new roulette system of the day. I can't wait to share this one with you. Let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the 3rd time is the Charm Roulette system by Dr. Roulette. I can't wait to share this with you, so let's just jump right in and place the first bet. We're going to bet on any single dozen that we want to start, but that's just level 1 of this strategy. Let's go ahead and bet on second 12 for $10, and let's spin. So let's see what we get here. That's a 6 black. Okay, we lost that one. That was $10. We're going to go up 2 units from 10 to 30, and we're going to put it on red or black. Let's put it on red for $30. Okay, and we got it. So we go back to level 1 now. We go back to $10, and you can see we're up 20 now. And we will be on, you can choose any one that you want, he says. So let's go ahead and let's just pick second 12 for $10 and spin. So you could do, follow the winner, or you could do longest since it's hit. He says that doesn't really matter. The key is the progression. But we just won again, and we're up $40. So let's see. Now let's pick third 12 this time, and spin. Okay, we lost that one. So now we're going to go up 2 units from 10 to 30 and put it on black or red. Let's put it on red for $30. All right, here we go. That's a 6 black. And we lost. So now we go up 2 units and we pick 2 dozens. We're going to go from 30 to 50. And let's go second and third and spin. And let's see if we can get a win here. But we lost. Okay, so if we lose, you're going to notice now all of a sudden we're minus $100. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, instead of being at that $10 bet, we're going to go ahead and jump up to a $50 bet on a single dozen. So let's go ahead and put it on third 12 here and spin. And we got it. Okay. Now, if we were to lose that one, we would go up 2 units and go to red or black. Okay, but now we're back to where we started. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can get some multiple wins here. So we'll start out on, let's go second 12 this time and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 15 black. And he says a lot of times you can go for a long time without losing all 3 levels. But let's see how this goes. Let's go ahead and let's bet on third 12 this time. He says you can choose whichever one you want. You can do follow the winner, longest since it's hit. But the key is the levels to the system. That's a nice win there. Now we're back up 40. Let's do third 12 again here and see if that repeats. All right, here we go. All right, it did. That's a 34 red. Okay, we're up 60. Let's stay on third 12 and see if it repeats again here in level 1 of 3 levels. Okay, we lost that one. That's a 5 red. So we will go up 2 units from 10 to 30. And let's put it on black this time and see what we get. All right, we got the win. So we go back to level 1. Okay, now we're up $80. And let's try third 12 again here and see if it's going to get hot. And that was a second 12 hit, so we lost that. We'll go up 2 units. And let's go ahead and go red for $30. And then if we lose this, we'll pick 2 dozens and go to 50. That's a 19 red. That's a win, so we go back to level 1. Let's try third 12 again. We're up $100, even with that big loss that we had. And here we go. That's a 33 black. That's a nice win. Okay, so we're up $120. And let's stay on third 12 for now and see if it continues to be hot. Okay, that's a loss on 1 red. So let's go ahead and we'll go up 2 units and let's put it on red for 30 in level 2. Here we go. And we lost that one. So we're going to go up 2 units from 30 to 50. And let's go second 12 and third 12 for 50 each. And let's see if we get the win here. And we did. That's a 31 black. So again, Dr. Roulette says a lot of times you can go a while without losing all 3 levels. And he says sometimes you can cash out before you have a single loss. But we'll go over the recovery process the next time we have a loss here. And we're up $130. So let's stick with third 12 and see if it continues to hit. That's a 5 red, and that's a loss. So let's go ahead and we'll go red for 30 and spin. Up 2 units. And we got the win. That's a 9 red. Okay, so we're up 150. And let's go third 12 again. Just the moment we leave it, it'll probably start hitting again. And there, see, that was a good choice. That's a 33 black. And we're up 170. We'll just stay with that, see if we can get a sea of high numbers. And that's a low number, 3 red. So we go over to the bet on, let's do red again, and we'll go to 30. Up 2 units. And we got the win, 16 red. Okay, we're up 190. Let's go third 12 again. And it was second 12 we lost. So let's go red for 30 again. And go up 2 units from 10 to 30. And we got the win, 18 red. Okay, we're up $210 now. We'll go third 12 again. But you can move these around wherever you want. And that's a loss, 2 black. Okay, so let's go red again for 30 and spin. Up 2 units. And we got it, 25 red. So we're picking up profit each time. We're up $230 now. And let's see if that third 12 repeats. Nope, it did not. That's a second 12 hit. So let's go red for 30 and up 2 units and spin. And we got it, 27 red. I just figured this choppiness would continue. You can see the chop went from 16 to 20 to 18 to 2 to 25 to 13 to 27. It's continuing to chop. We're up $250. And let's see if that third 12 repeats here. But again, you can bet on any ones that you want, and that's a win, 31 black. All right, let's stay on third 12, and we're up $270 now with Dr. Roulette's third time is the charm. And that's a 3 red, that's a loss. Okay, so let's see if this breaks. See how long this chop has gone? Let's see if it ends right here. Let's go black for 30. All right, here we go. And it did. That's a 35 black. All right, so we're up $290. Let's go second 12 now and see if we can get a second 12 hit. It's a first 12 hit, 6 black. Okay, so let's go red for 30. Up 2 units. And we lost that one, so we're going to have to go up 2 units to 50. And let's go second and third for 50. And see if we can get the win here. If we lose this, we'll need to go to a $50 bet on a single 12. That's a 30 red, but we won. Okay, and then we'll go over what happens if you lose at that level coming up. We're up $300. And let's go ahead and let's go second 12 for 10. Here we go. There we go. That's an 18 red. Fantastic. So we're up $320. We'll bet second 12 again, see if it repeats here. And here we go. That's a loss on a 2 black. So let's go ahead and let's go red for 30, up 2 units. And we lost that one. So we're going to go up 2 units from 30 to 50. And let's go second and third again. And again, if we lose this one, we'll go to a single dozen with 50. That's a win, 16 red. Okay, so we're up 330. Let's go second 12 and see if that repeats again. Doing really well right now. Let's see if this continues. And that's an 11 black. That's a loss. So we'll go 10 to 30, and let's go red for 30. And spin. And we got it, 7 red. Okay, more profit. We're up $350. Let's go second 12 for 10 again. And we lost that one. That's a 32 red. Okay, so let's go black for 30 this time, up 2 units. All right, that's a 28 black. Okay, we're up $370. And let's see, let's go second 12 for 10. Let's see if we can get some wins on second 12. And that's a 31 black. It's continuing to repeat there. So let's go ahead and let's go red for 30, up 2 units. And we got it. That's a 14 red. Okay, so we're up $390 now. That's fantastic. Let's see if second 12 repeats after that 14 red. And that's a 25 red. We lost, so we'll go to 30. Let's go black for 30. Here we go. And we lost that one. That's a 25 red. Okay, so let's go first and second for 50 each. And spin. Ooh, we lost though. That's a 27 red. So Again, now we're going to have to go to $50 on a single 12. So let's do that and spin. That's a 10 black. We lost. So we're going to go up 2 units from 50 to 70, and we'll be on a color now. So let's go ahead and let's go red for 70 and spin. And let's see what we get here. Okay, we got that one. That's a 1 red. Okay, so we're up 270. And at that point, you go, if you're not in session profit, you can go back to 50, or you can go, or you can drop back by 50%. So let's go ahead and let's drop back by 50%. So he gave us those options, and let's go second. Yeah, let's go second 12 for 25. Okay. Okay, that's a 7 red. Okay, we lost, so we'll go up 2 units from 25 to 45, and we'll be, let's go, we'll be on black for 45. Let's go ahead and spin. So these are still $10 units, even though we went to 25 here. And that's a 28 black. Okay, we won. So now let's go back to where we started at 10, and we'll be on second 12. And Dr. Roulette says the more you get up, the safer you can play with that. You can reset, even if you're not completely in session profit. You're making so much with this one while things are going good that oh wait, that should be a $10 bet, not a 5. Sorry about that, guys. We'll just redo that one. Okay, that's a 32 red. We lost that one. So we will go 10 to 30 up 2 units, and let's go red for 30. All right, here we go. And we lost again. That's a 17 black. So we'll go from 30 to 50 up 2 units. And let's go first and second for 50 each. We're currently up $245, and let's spin. That's a 17 black. That should be a win. So we go back to $10, and let's see if this second 12 repeats. We're up $295, and here we go. There we go. That's a 16 red. Okay, we're up $315, and we're just now running out of time. So after 15 minutes, we made $315 with the third time as the charm roulette system. Let me know if you like it the way that we played it, or if you would modify it. As always, that's what is so great about this channel. You guys are fantastic and are always thinking, and but it did really well. Thank you, Dr. Roulette, for sending that in. And thank you, Kentucky White, as always, for all of your systems. And look forward to everything in the I see in the comments, whether it's improving systems or adjusting systems. That's I love seeing all of it. So keep that up, and remember to send systems into roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. We do this every single day in the search for the best roulette system possible, and I sure love that search. I hope you do too. And if you do, please like, share, and subscribe, and let's keep growing this community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.